what do you think of Monte Carlo? Or don't you think of it at all?
Oh, well, I think it's rather artificial.
She's spoiled, Mr. DeWitt. That's her trouble. Most girls will give their eyes for a chance to see Monte.
Wouldn't that rather defeat the purpose?
We got on so well together.
You and your father?
Yes, he was a lovely person, very unusual.
What was he?
A painter.
Ah, was he a good one?
Well, I thought so, but people didn't understand him.
Yes, that's often the trouble.
He painted trees. At least it was one tree.
You mean he painted the same tree over and over again?
Yes, you see, he had a theory that if you should find one perfect thing or place or person, you should stick to it. Do you think that's very silly?
Not at all. I'm a firm believer in that myself. I didn't expect the whole staff to be in attendance.
Mr. Danvers' orders, sir.
Oh. Sorry about this. Won't take long. This is Mrs. Danvers.
How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you like Mandler?
Very beautiful, isn't it?
And how do you get along with Mrs. Danvers?
Well, I've never met anyone quite like her before.
You mean she scares you? She's not exactly an oil painting, is she?
Giles, you're very much in the way here. Go somewhere else. Don't mind my saying so, but why don't you do something about your hair? Why don't you have it cut or sweep it back behind your ears? Oh, no, that's worse. What does Maxim say about it? Does he like it like that?
Well, he never mentions it.
Oh, well, don't go by me. I can see by the way you dress you don't care a hoot how you look.
You wish anything, madam?
I didn't expect to see you, Mrs. Danvers. I noticed that the window wasn't closed, and I came up to see if I could fasten it.
Why did you say that? I closed it before I left the room. You opened it yourself, didn't you? You've always wanted to see this room, haven't you, madam? Why did you never ask me to show it to you? I was ready to show it to you every day. It's a lovely room, isn't it? Loveliest room you've ever seen. Everything is kept just as Mrs. De Winter liked it. Nothing has been altered since that last night. Come, I'll show you her dressing room. You wouldn't think she'd been gone so long, would you? Sometimes when I walk along the corridor, I fancy I hear her just behind me. That quick, light step. I couldn't mistake it anywhere. It's not only in this room. It's in all the rooms in the house. I can almost hear it now. Do you think the dead come back and watch the living?
No, I don't believe it.
Sometimes. I wonder if she doesn't come back here to Manderley. Watch you and Mr. De Winter together. You look tired. Why don't you stay here a while and rest? And listen to the sea. So soothing. Listen to it. Listen. Listen to the sea. You sent for me, madam?
Yes, Mrs. Danvers. I want you to get rid of all these things.
These are Mrs. De Winter's things.
I am Mrs. De Winter now.
You're overwrought, madam. I've opened a window for you. A little air will do you good. Why don't you go? Why don't you leave Manderley? He doesn't need you. He's got his memories. He doesn't love you. He wants to be alone again with her. You've nothing to stay for. You've nothing to live for, really, have you? Look down there. It's easy, isn't it? Why don't you? Why don't you? Go on. Go on. Don't be afraid.
Oh! Ben, have you seen Mr. De Winter anywhere?
She won't come back, will she? You said so.
Who, Ben? What do you mean?
Ah, the other one.
She was lying on the divan, a large tray of cigarette stubs beside her. She looked ill, queer. Suddenly she got up, started to walk toward me. When I have a child, she said, neither you nor anyone else could ever prove it wasn't yours. You'd like to have an heir, wouldn't you, Max, for your precious Manderley? And she started to laugh. How funny. How supremely, wonderfully funny. I'll be the perfect mother, just as I've been the perfect wife. No one will ever know. It ought to give you the thrill of your life, Max, to watch my son grow bigger day by day, and to know that when you die, Manderley will be his. She was face to face with me. One hand in her pocket, the other holding a cigarette. She was smiling. Well, Max, what are you going to do about it?
Mm-hmm.